Hi, it's Megan. So I have a whole, I guess, separate makeup collection of things that are just kind of my no makeup look makeup, because I am one of those people who actually wears makeup everywhere, believe it or not, to the gym, to the yoga studio. It doesn't really matter where. I've always got some makeup on, but I don't always want to look like I have makeup on. So I thought, why don't I do a makeup video on the no makeup look, which is really perfect, especially a lot of times like when I'm in a hurry. I don't have time to think about what eyeshadow to put on or what look I want, or I just don't have time. So very often I'll actually use this type of a look even when I'm not going to the gym or whatever else. I'll just use it because it's quick and it's easy. So this is going to take a little bit longer than just putting makeup on, because I pulled out a whole bunch of products that I kind of use when I want that no makeup look. And so there's a lot of product here. And I basically have no makeup on right now, which I'm getting more used to seeing myself with no makeup on camera, because I feel like the camera, I don't know, picks up every little imperfection. No, I don't think, I know the camera picks up every little imperfection. Okay, so what I already have on is I already have on cream, face cream, sunscreen, a little bit of one of those kind of face primer things. And so let me show you. I'm just trying to dump stuff out of my bucket, which was just not very smooth, but I do that sometimes. So what I have on right now is I've got the Gucci Face Silk Priming Serum. And even if I have a no makeup look, I definitely will put on some sort of a primer, and if it's not going to be an illuminating whatever I put on top of it, then it will be something with illumination. This right here, I just think makes my skin look a lot more flawless. And that's kind of my theory on makeup anyway, which is you want to start with kind of making your skin look good and then build on top of that. And a lot of that is shadows, shimmer, illumination in the right places, not like shiny, glittery and all that, although I do that too, but that's not like an everyday thing. That's just something that, I don't know, I play around with. I also like the Revlon Photo Ready. This one is the Perfecting Primer, and I've been meaning to do a video on this, but I just haven't gotten to it. But I really like this product. Cheaper than the Gucci. So this is like 15, the Gucci's like 50. Another product I really like is the 3W Clinic Collagen Makeup Base. This has a green base which neutralizes any red in your face. So if you're not going to have a lot of heavy coverage foundation and you do have a little redness in your face, this is a great product. There's also different like lavenders which kind of even out as well. It just kind of depends on your specific skin. And I think if I remember correctly, the lavenders help with like olive and yellow in your complexion. So what I'm going to do, I'm looking all over, I'm going to start out with their Guerlain Meteorites Baby Glow, just because it's a newer product, and so I figure I'll go with a newer one. But other products I would use just to put like a light CC cream on top of this, or a light kind of barely there, something to even out your skin tone that doesn't look like I have makeup on, like a foundation would. I like the Urban Decay Beauty Balm, the Naked Skin one. This one I think is a lot more sheer than a lot of other BB creams, which I actually prefer CC creams to BB creams, just because I think the BB creams can sometimes look a little heavy or cakey on my skin. I have dry skin, whereas I feel like the CC creams give me that illumination, just that slight little bit of coverage, but look like my skin. Then the Tony Moly, this is my favorite Korean one that I found so far, CC cream. The Luminous Pure Aura CC cream, which I just love. It does give a little bit of illumination. And then also the Illuminescence Giorgio Armani CC cream. This is tied with the Guerlain probably for my favorite. And then I also just pulled out, because I've been playing with lately, this Dr. Jart BB cream, which I find a little bit less heavy than some of the other BB creams. But part of this is going to be what works with your skin tone, your skin color, you know, all of that. So for example, the Baby Glow might be a little too pink for some. So this is in Claire, and I have to always put moisturizer on. I'm not going to do this perfectly because, gosh, you know, I'm just not going to. But I always have to put moisturizer on before I put a product like this on, because, and I'm actually already having this problem because my moisturizer is sunk in just a little bit. You can see I have that little red spot. it covers it up mostly, not completely. And I always put a little bit on my chin, like down here, because since I live in a warmer climate, Southern California, I feel like I need to even out my skin tone like all the way down. I tend to get a lot of chest sun, but I don't get a lot on my neck and my face, so I'm always evening out. And again, that's kind of one of the secrets of flawlessness is kind of evening things out and making them consistent. So that was probably not the most perfect flawless application, but since it's a sheerer, smoother coverage, it doesn't really matter that much. Then I'm going to do a light concealer, and I've been playing around with the GRWM concealer, and I almost pulled that one, but I instead went with the Josie Maran, the stick, the Argan Creamy Concealer Stick, only because I figured it would be easier to put it on camera, because the GRWM is a little bit of a thinner formula. So I put it on here. Just a lot of people have under eye circle issues. I have right in the inner eye where it tends to get really dark. So that's why I like something with a chubby end like this, that I can actually like precisely dot right in the right spot. And then I know some people like beauty blenders or brushes or whatever. I prefer to use my finger. Now, depending on your face, if you want really flawless, I tend right now, my nose has been running a lot because we've had like hot, cold weather. And so I've had a red nose, which I normally don't. I'm like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, which I normally don't have a big problem with. And then my little red spot right there, which I might get corrected at some point or not. We'll see. So there, what I've done now is I've evened out my skin tone. This is where I always joke with my daughter that I look the worst. We all look the worst because we've just taken some of the color out of our face. It's not quite so dramatic right now because I didn't use like a full coverage, but right now there should be evenness in the skin tone. I'm going to use some of the Guerlain Meteorites as a setting powder, and also to keep up that whole little idea of soft illumination. Now, if I had done a much more illuminating, the Baby Glow has illumination, but it's not super illuminating, so I can still use the Meteorites on top of it. But now at this point, I've got kind of a little bit of a glow going. I don't want to put too much more glow into my face, or I'm not going to look like I have no makeup on anymore. I'm going to look like I have a lot of makeup on. Usually when I do a foundation, I use a foundation brush, like this one from Urban Decay, but a lot of times when I'm doing like a BB cream, I don't. So we've evened out. The next evening out I'm going to do is actually with a bronzer, and this again goes to flawless and natural. So this is a Bobbi Brown, it's a matte bronzer, and this is actually going on my neck, believe it or not, because like I said, I like to even out my skin tone. My chest is going to be a lot darker, so I want to kind of get this to look a little bit more even. I actually don't wear bronzer so much for any other reason. I wear it just to kind of even out my skin tone so that I look a little bit more consistent. And so I'm going to dot a little bit on in that little 3. I really have to learn to put my hair up when I do these videos, huh? That little 3 pattern. And if you're doing something on camera, actually defining your jawline makes a huge difference. It looks a lot better on camera. It doesn't really make a difference in real life. So now what I've done is I brought a little bit of the darkness into my face and into my neck so that it matches my chest. Next, I'm obsessive about this one step. I don't know why, but this is like, I cannot get by without it. I stopped plucking my eyebrows. I don't know, I don't have that much there anyway, and I like the way it grows, the shape it grows, and I just decided not to. And I don't add color back in because my eyebrows are darker than my skin, my hair naturally. So I just use this little Smashbox. And Smashbox also has a great CC cream. This is called the Brow Tech To Go, and I just use a little wand, which has a little wax in it, brow wax, just to brush my brows into kind of a semi, not so crazy shape. I will never have perfectly arched eyebrows because I'm not willing to make the effort. It's really that simple. Okay, the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to add some color back into my cheeks. Now, I actually prefer, for a natural, no makeup look, I prefer using something that is either cream or kind of, I don't know, what is this, lotion based. So this is the Armani Maestro brush. This blush, this is probably my favorite blush of all time. I'm going to open this on camera. This is something you have to be really careful with. It's a thin, runny liquid kind of thing. And let me put this on my finger. You use the tiniest, tiniest amount. But I just find that this gives the most luminous, natural looking flush out there. I'm going to show a couple of other products if you don't have this one. But I'm actually going to dot this on right now. So what I do for this kind of a look is just put a little bit, this is going on the apple of my cheek, and I might need just a little bit more, we'll see. Maybe not, it's so pigmented. This is shade 500, which is like a pinky kind of a shade, pinky mauve, not pinky mauve, pinky brown. And so you can see it just gets like a flush. When I do some of those sculpted looks, this is a wider brush than I use for sculpted, but then you know you can sit there and you can dot the blush right under your cheekbone and all that. But for this, we're not looking for that kind of sculpted look. We're looking for just like a natural little flush. What I actually would probably do, but don't have, just I'll put a little bit more of this on. I kind of feel like I need to pop more of like a blush, a powder brush on top of it, just with the color today. It's just kind of my mood, but I'm not going to do that. And that would actually set it, but it's all of a sudden not going to look quite as natural. So I'm going to put just a little touch more on and blend it in. Yeah, now I'm happier with it. Better amount of color. Other products that would do the same thing. This is one of the old ones, but I love the Tarte cheek stain. I don't know what it is about these, but I just love them. So you can see that flush that you get on your, I love these. I'm probably the only one who loves them as much as I do, but I really do. The other product I really love is the Josie Maran Cheek Jelly. These right here. I also like the creamy oils, but I have dry skin, so my skin actually will suck them up. But I found that a lot of people with oily skin, it just isn't a good product. But these jellies are gorgeous. They give you that same little natural flush. It's probably, I don't know, my favorite Josie Maran product. I like Josie Maran as a brand. That might be my favorite all time of their line. A couple other things, these Beccas. These we have to be careful with. These little Beccas, what are they called? Beach Tint Shimmer Soufflés. I actually really like these if I don't have a lot of illumination already going on my face. If I do, then it's just going to add too much shimmer. And since I had already put kind of a shimmery, luminous CC cream on, I feel like this is too much shimmer for today. But it's something that I do like. Alright, so this is where, well, we won't get to the cheats yet, but I do cheat, so you're going to see my cheats in a minute. I'm going to use an Hourglass illuminator. I have a whole bunch of illuminators. I didn't know which one I was going to use, but I'm going to use this one. This is a super finely milled one, and I'm still going to add just a tiny, tiny bit of illumination. And this right here has the 3 different shades, kind of a golden one, a neutral one, and then a little bit of a tan one. I'm actually going to use the one in the middle, which is like a platinum. And this was the limited edition one, but I'm actually going to put this on my, I did not bring a little brush, but I will use a pad. I'm going to use this, usually I would use a brush, but I forgot it. I'm just going to line a little bit underneath my eyes, and usually I would do that with an eyeshadow brush, but I don't want to turn the camera off to go that one. And this works in a pinch. Now you can also put it all the way in, and you can put it on the inner part of the eye. It doesn't, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, but what I wanted to do was just take a very, very softly illuminating thing that I could dot on, and then I just dot a little here. It's barely there, but it makes me look a lot more awake than if I don't put something like this. What I wouldn't do is, what I do all the time, but I wouldn't do for this look, is I do like one of the Becca highlighters, because they're a lot more gold toned. All of a sudden it's going to look like I have a little bit more makeup on than something like this, which is a little bit more finely milled, a little bit less metallic, and a little bit less makeup-y. I had also considered doing the Dose of Colors pink based one, Angelic, I forget what it's called, Angel something. But I decided, the reason I was going to bring that one into the video is because it's a rare cool based, not metallic, very finely milled, soft sheen with a little bit of pink highlighter for people with like a pink undertone that can't wear anything too yellow. And then I also had the Lightscapade from MAC, which I was considering doing. In fact, we're going to put a little bit on top of it. Just, it doesn't matter if I go out there a little bit more shimmery than normal, because you can see it gives the same side of a look. You don't really see that I have on a highlighter. And honestly, normally I wouldn't use that brush. I would use this one. I just kind of grabbed that one. Okay, my cheats. I'm going to do them. So first of all is mascara. So my daughter always says I wear too much mascara. I do. I always wear too much mascara. So you don't have to wear mascara. If you want to look like you have no makeup, just dot a little bit on the end of your lashes. I am going to actually try to do that. I've never really done that. I never do that. I always put too much on. So I'm just going to try to keep it a natural look. And the reason why for me it goes on the end is because I have long lashes, but they really get very pale at the end. So we're just going to do, she's not even going to recognize me when she sees me later without all that mascara. My daughter, I mean. So I'm just going to dot. And you don't have to put it on the bottom. I like putting it on the bottom because I have big round eyes. So if you have, let's say, almond-shaped eyes or shorter lashes on the bottom, you may not want to do a little bit on the bottom at all. But if you got like the rounder eyes the way I do, I just feel like it opens up your eyes and balances them out a little bit, which is really important. Okay, we've got lips. So we've got two more things, lips being one of them. And there are a couple products that I really love. So first of all, the Lipstick Queen Look of Love book. This has two very natural lipsticks and then one of these oxymorons. This oxymoron is something that I would use on my cheek as well, along with like the Stila, what are they called? Now I'm forgetting what they're called. Those little Stila pots. I'll remember as soon as I turn this camera off. This one's really pretty. This set is so great if you have a lighter skin tone. This is one of the lipsticks. Just going to put that on. You can see how light that is. Perfect. See, perfect. For adding just a touch of color, but you can almost not tell that I have lipstick on. If you have a darker skin tone though, this is a lighter set and it probably won't work on you. And I think, you know, that's where again it goes to what is going to look natural on you color-wise. Another thing that I really like, I actually bought this at Christmas, and again, this is one of the products I've been meaning to do a video for, but I haven't. The Vitality Lip Flush lip products by IT Cosmetics. And these I love. They basically stain your lip, and I'm going to take what I have off and put one of these on in a minute. They basically stain your lip. So this one right here is the lightest, and then they go varying shades to darker, but they look really, really natural on. The one caveat I have, I know that was really ungraceful, but it works. The one caveat I have is that I feel like on me a couple of the colors look a little bit unnatural, which is why I haven't done the video yet, because it's also hard to do the video because they stain your lips. So with 6 colors, and I've done a video for 2 that I had before, but okay. The Luxe Stick Gloss collection, which I have from Laura Mercier, and there's the Brown Sugar Peony Courtesan Stick Gloss, and then the Baby Lips Sheer Lip Color. I think all of these are really great, particularly the Baby Lips. This was one of my favorite products for years. This is, when I saw the set, this is a year old. When I saw the set, I just about flipped out. So this is Baby Lips. It's a little bit darker, but again, it gives you, it's a sheer color. It gives you just this really beautiful flush of color on your lips. That the others work too. The stick glosses work really well too, but not quite as natural as the Baby Lips. So this is one of them. This one is Brown Sugar. That's what I thought. You can see again, just a very sheer wash of color. This would probably work with someone with darker complexion who needs kind of a little bit more of a brown tone to it. There's always a natural lip gloss. This is a good Lorac one, which I really like. I'll put lip gloss actually over my IT Cosmetics. This is another sheer natural. The reason why I like lip glosses when I'm going for a no makeup look is it just gives a little bit of a sheen. So I'm not picking really pigmented lip glosses. I'm picking ones with a sheen and not a lot of color to them, just a touch of like a nude. but I have very pigmented lips. So for me, all I'm adding is a little bit of shine, and I still have a natural color. If you don't have very pigmented lips, maybe not a good way to go. The other thing I have here is a Tony Moly tint. I find most tints very artificial looking. They're just too popsicle, artificial, cosmetic-y. This one right here, though, I do like. Put some on my arm. I like it if I really very quickly blend it in over. If I put it on straight, it's just too dark, but I do like the idea of tints. I just haven't found a lot of tints that I think look natural. This one can, if you're careful and apply it quickly. The next thing, this is my new thing. The Marc Jacobs has this whole line of new nudes, and they're semi-sheer. I actually really, really like these. This one is Role Play, and it's a really great color, and it's semi-sheer, like a pinky brown. I haven't done a video for this yet because I haven't been wearing it long enough to know what I think overall. I have had problems with Marc Jacobs in the past with them bleeding on me. These do not bleed, which is great, and it does give a really natural look to my lips. So I'm going to put one of these It Cosmetics on, put some lip gloss on, and then I'll show my last cheek. So I'm just going to take one that's got kind of a neutral undertone. So this one is Damsel, and you'll watch as I put it on. It'll change color, and it'll end up having a lot more color than when I first apply it. Now I had done a pink toned lip color, or cheek color, so I'm also doing a pink toned lip color. This, you can see, it looks like there's like flesh to my lips. In fact, I'm actually not going to put the gloss over it because then I'm going to lose that, I'll put a touch. I'm going to lose a little bit of that no makeup look. Just put a little bit there. So I look very natural. You can say, well, maybe she's got a little bit of makeup, but not a lot. Now I'm going to show you my cheat, the big cheat. So this will still give you a natural look, but it'll define your eyes a lot more. So again, what we did is we just put a little highlighter on the eyes, just dotted it on, aligned underneath a little bit as well. Now I'm going to take a black eye pencil, a kohl one, a Lancome, and so right now I look like, gosh, does she have makeup on? Now we're going to kick it up a notch. I'm just going to put it right on the upper waterline and line all the way in. I like the kohl because they bleed a little bit to the lower waterline, so I just get a slight little bit of gray right there. I really like this Lancome kohl because I find it just soft and easy to apply. If you have contact lenses, I have not heard that this causes problems, but it is a softer liner and it does bleed a little bit. So this is only going on the upper waterline. Between the lash and the eye, it's not going at all on the upper lash or the upper lid. And so what this is doing is basically making the lashes look thinner, and it's adding a little bit more definition to your eyes, so you look a little bit more polished. So anyway, that definitely is a cheat, where you're going to look a little bit less like you've got no makeup on. Whenever I do a video like this, I usually get a request for a list of products. It's hard with YouTube with the kind of restrictions on how much you can put in the description to the video, so I'm actually going to put a link to my blog, and on my blog I will have a list of all the products, and that link will be not to the blog itself but to the blog posting, which has all these products in it. And if you have thoughts, other tips, suggestions, ideas, comments, anything at all, please let me know. Please leave a comment, and then also subscribe on YouTube. It helps me a lot. Thank you.